me. This is attorney Marina Shepelsky coming to you from New York, live with our weekly show about immigration law and news in immigration law. This is my English speaking show. My Russian speaking show will be next week. And I thank you for joining me. I'm also going to be answering your questions. So if you have immigration related questions, we can discuss them later in the show. I would be happy to answer your questions, but please keep in mind, nothing that I discuss here is meant to be any legal advice. This is just information. We're doing this for, informational, educational purposes, to talk about the kinds of cases out there and the kind of cases that people might have. And lots of times when you ask a question, it is something that many other people also have going on, especially when you're asking me about asylum or the time periods it takes to get a work permit or anything like that. So keep, watching. Stay tuned. I will answer your questions towards the end. And in the beginning, I'm just going to wait for some people to join. And once they join, I will be able to respond to your questions after I discuss the news. So let's talk about what happened this week. This was a long weekend week. We had Labor Day, so happy belated Labor Day to all our viewers. Thank you for watching us. And I know you guys are working hard because immigrants are really hard workers and they make America great at all times. And the reason that our country is strong and good the way it is because of the immigrants, and the minds and the hard labor of immigrants is what makes our country tick and go around. All right. Immigration news so far. What can we say about the different countries and the U.S. embassies there? So in September 2023, we are looking at visa services all over the world by United States. And it looks like almost every embassy out there has resumed its work, back to being full time and in person, and everything is back to normal in terms of the COVID shutdowns. Everything is back for non-immigrant and immigrant operations. Today, South Sudan was announced of extension for TPS. So if you need to file, give us a call. Everyone that has TPS has to re-register every time the TPS is renewed. What happened last week? Well, last week Trump unveiled his 2025 immigration plan. It was very tough to read because a lot of things are going to be working against immigrants if Trump gets reelected. Because if Trump gets reelected, this is really bad news for immigrants. He wants to take on unprecedented, never before seen restrictions on immigration and the US border with Mexico. Although I have to a little bit defend not what he wants to do with the border, but I do have to say that it's not safe for people living here in the US to have an open border. But I know that people at the border work really hard to keep things organized there. So, a lot of things are being done to keep our border safe. Because remember, terrorists can come through an open border just like regular people, just like immigrants. So he's got some plans for the border. He wants to continue building the wall. He wants a floating, like a floating, what do you call that? A floating ramp, sort of he wants the to be a ramp or like a wall that floats on the Rio Grande. He wants to start checking people's ideological like their ideas, their beliefs by tracking their social media to prevent communism from coming in, communists to come in. He wants to send the Coast Guard and the Navy to form a blockade the waters of the U.S. and Latin America. He wants to be able to have U.S. troops shoot people on Mexican territory if they think they're terrorists. He wants to designate drug cartels as unlawful enemy combatants to allow the U.S. military to shoot them in Mexican territory and use the same law that they've been using designation to justify the long-term detentions to this day of 9/11 suspects at Guantanamo Bay. He wants to end birthright citizenship. In other words, the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution that says that people who are born in America are American citizens. He wants to end that for children of undocumented immigrants. He wants to be a true conservative, and he wants to use the conservative leading Supreme Court to give him support. He wants to quickly deport migrant gang members, which I don't disagree with. That's what I agree with. And basically, he wants to check that people coming in with affidavits of support themselves are able to work and support themselves in the U.S. And it's not enough for him that they have an affidavit of support. They have to show they themselves can work in the U.S. and don't need to rely even on their sponsors. So that's the kind of ideas that Trump has, and that's what's happening right now with Trump. Ali wants to know if there's an update about the Dignity Act. Right now, unfortunately, there's not. And Ali, Ariful Islam says, hi, I'm from Bangladesh. Thank you for telling me. By the way, drop a comment to say where you're from, where you're watching me from. That's amazing. Jesus Sanchez says, hello, hi. Seda A says, okay, I'll come back to that. By Pavlova says, good morning, attorney. Violetta Keda says, hi, what is your predictions for October 2023 visa bulletin? Wow, so the visa bulletin is coming soon. People are really worried and hopeful at the same time that the October visa bulletin would show a shift forward in processing for immigrant visas and green cards. So EB1, EB2, EB3, and the EB4 group. The backlog is crazy. They actually went back in time, and we had some clients that when we filed for them for EB1 or EB2, EB3, it was one way, like the EB1 didn't even have to wait at all to file the I-485, but decided to first file the I-140. By the time the I-140 was approved, the exchange, and now they had to get either like a non-immigrant visa, student visa, or leave US. So it's really hard and they're struggling. Hello, says Vanessa. I'm just gonna wait for a little bit more people to join and I will begin to answer your questions. And I see already some questions on Instagram. Thank you for posting. I will reply to them in the order that they were posted. Lottie Mohan says, hi, ma'am, how are you on Instagram? I am Savanti telling me that I'm so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Okay, let's get back to the news. I was with you guys. We talked about Trump's plan. Now, the humanitarian parole program for Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Haiti is going to Texas court. It's being challenged, and a few organizations. Well, it's filed actually by 25 Republican states. 21 Republican states filed against the Biden administration for saying their humanitarian parole program is illegal and basically saying that Biden has created a new visa program without the formalities of going through Congress and creating new law or legislation, which kind of legally, I don't agree with them, but legally it doesn't make sense what they're saying. I'll be interested to see what the court says to this. But they're unhappy with this humanitarian parole program. They're saying that effectively what happened, why DACA was blocked, is that Obama did an executive action and decided that they were going to give status to these kids who were brought here uh, as children and they became adults. Somebody asked them, and they deserve to get a work permit and a status, right? That worked for a while until the Republicans sued the Obama administration and said, you're creating immigration laws without giving the power to do it. The president cannot make new laws. So the Department of Homeland Security is under the presidential administration's umbrella. And they also kind of created a law in creating this humanitarian parole program, which I personally think is great. And they do have the power to do that. But the Republicans disagreed, and we'll see what happens in court. USCIS reopened the Havana, Cuba office. This is historical. So USCIS is back in Cuba after a 5-year break. They reopened their office to reduce the visa backlog, and they will expedite family-based immigration petitions and manage refugee and asylum-related petitions, along with provided limited services for bringing close relatives to the United States. The Hawaiian wildfire tore through Lahaina, Hawaii, and August 8th, destroyed lots of this town, houses, buildings, people died. Scores of immigrants who were there have been left homeless and without jobs. Those that have no legal status are too scared to apply for help out of fears of being deported. This is what's in the news. Let's see what else is new. Let's see what USCIS came up with this week. I mentioned that South Sudan got an extension of their TPS program. Oh, this is interesting. So USCIS updated its policy guidance, and now they will have voter registration right at the naturalization ceremonies. So the new USCIS guidance shows that USCIS will provide access to voter registration services at each administrative U.S. citizenship swearing-in ceremony, including information regarding points of contact for voting and voter registration. And they will ask the election officials from state or local government offices to attend these ceremonies to distribute, collect, and review voter registration applications. So they want to come, we say if the mountain will come to Muhammad, Muhammad will go to the mountain. So if they want people who are becoming U.S. citizens to register to vote right at their ceremony of U.S. citizenship. They are hoping, I think, that these new immigrants will vote Democrat because people think that most immigrants are Democrats. It's kind of true, but also keep in mind a lot of immigrants are not Democrats, they will be Republicans. A lot of Russian speakers and Cubans are Republican all the way in and really support Trump. My parents love Trump. Um, so we'll see what happens. But right now, USCIS is going to bring and invite government election officials and non-government organizations offering on-site voter registration services right at the time you raise your right hand and you swear in as a U.S. citizen and you get your citizenship certificate. That same day, you're going to be registered to vote. By the way, don't have U.S. citizens. Do not ever vote in U.S. elections. This is a problem that you just cannot fix with anything that you do. No waiver is available. You will lose your green card if you ever vote, because when you vote, you're saying you are a U.S. citizen and you're allowed to vote. Even if you made a mistake, you cannot vote if you're not a U.S. citizen. Also, I have to make a separate video about this. I now have 2 consultations with people that the U.S. Army and Marines convinced to join when they were conditional residents. They didn't have the 10-year green card. only 2-year green card. And they thought they were going to get U.S. citizenship, but they don't really bother to find out about how immigration law actually works in the military. So they were filing straight for U.S. citizenship for these. Actually, these were two ladies who joined different military branches. Instead of filing first for removal of conditions, and they were denied. Okay, so you guys, if you have a 2-year green card, the first step is to get the 10-year green card. Remove conditions on your green card. Then you apply for citizenship. The Army is not going to do that for you. They don't get it, and they don't have an unstaffed immigration lawyer to help them. All right? So let's get into your questions. I'm going to go over your questions and see what I can answer. All right. Zeta says after getting dismissal in immigration removal proceedings in the immigration court, how can I get a work permit again? You have to file a new case because you gave up on your asylum case. I guess you could go back and try to refile or like reactivate your asylum case. There's no good way. There's no good way to get your work permit back if you dismissed your removal case with your asylum case. Vibhav Gaba says, good morning, attorney. What is the maximum time to get a prima facie approval? Some people never get it. Don't worry about it. It doesn't mean anything. But sometimes it takes 3 weeks or a year even. You can have your lawyer email the hotline for Vanuatu to request it. Violetta Keda says, okay, we talked about predictions for October 2022. Visa bulletin. I don't know what my predictions are. Some people think that we will not see anything in October, but maybe in November there will be new visas available, and in November we will see movement on the date of filing for your green card if you were an approved EB1, EB2, EB3, or even EB4 beneficiary. Our full response says, I want to go to America from Bangladesh for the EB3 visa. You need to find a U.S. sponsor for the EB3 visa. They're taking a super long time now. Like I always tell now clients, it might take 2 or 3 years for the EB3 immigrant visa to come and work in the United States through labor certification. Laura Khan says, good morning, Marina. Hope you're doing well. You guys help immigrants to come out from detention in San Diego. Occasionally, that's usually not one of the major case types that we have. So if you are in detention because of asylum and you want to ask for asylum, we can probably help. We will have to work remotely with San Diego, and we would be open to working on it. Give us a call, 718-769-6352. It's also on the bottom of the screen. Piyush Kumar says, any updates on the registry date change, immigration bill, the law? I haven't seen any updates yet. We will see what happens. It should start to go back to normal soon because for the summer everything was kind of slow, super slow. I wanted to see Instagram questions. Okay. On Instagram, people are saying hello. Hi, man. How are you? I am Deep Sunny. Says hi, Miss. I have a mechanical engineer experience 6 years. I want to move to U.S. on a work permit. How can I apply? What type of visa do I need to immigrate? I am Deep Sunny. I'm going to write here my email. You can email me. This is our general email address. You can email me with like tell me about yourself, your education, how many years you went to college, do you have a master's or bachelor's, and what type of mechanical experience, engineering experience do you have? Some people would even self-sponsor, some people cannot. But I'll take a look at your background and tell you what you would be eligible for. Okay, so Robin says, hi, sir. How you doing? I'm from Bangladesh, Dhaka City. Oh, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Tree Park says, my asylum case biometrics done. So when we receive the Social Security and work permit, how many chances for case grant? Those are not connected. So if you file for asylum, you receive your work permit and your social. It doesn't really predict how well your asylum case will do in front of USCIS asylum office or immigration judge. Those are completely unrelated facts. Your case depends on what you put in there, what kind of paperwork you included. I'll be happy to take a look and tell you. Well, we can schedule a paid consultation. If you're inside US, call us 718-769-6352. And then, how many points do I need for permanent residence for USA? We don't have a point system. This is for IMG study. We don't have a point system. It depends individually on who applies. Just to tell you that from the whole world showing interest in immigrating to US, only less than 1% make it and take a green card. So it's very individual. A lot of people get denied. So it's not like a point system. It's individual, depends on kind of case you have, how well documented it is, and so on. Um, Mahi Pal Singh, dear Nanan says, how are you, my sister? I'm very well. Somebody's asking on Instagram where I'm from. Originally, I was born in Ukraine. I came here when I was 12, and I went to school here, college here, law school in the US, but I'm still fluent in Russian. Um, Sal NA 3599 wants to know how he can get a heavy truck driver visa. We need a sponsor. Beach 98 wants to know what is EB5. EB5 is people who invest over $1 million in the US economy. Based on their investment, it takes 2 to 3 years sometimes. They will get a green. So you have to either buy into an existing project, a regional project, and usually those are in areas of America that need development geographically. Like they need more jobs, they need more businesses, they need more job development there, right? Or you can open your own business, create 10 jobs, and that's your EB5 green card. S Journal 375 says, good evening, my dear friend. Good evening. It's evening already in many places. He is from India and Punjab. Hello, India. Thank you for watching me. Hello, Pakistan. Hello, Bangladesh. Hello, Nigeria. Hello, Ukraine. If somebody's watching and understands English, I'm welcoming everyone here. Honda Meat wants to know if Asile is married to a lady of his home country. I don't know the question. Um, hello, Sister Traveler 97. Sabi says, I want citizenship of Canada. I don't work with Canadian citizenship. I only work with American citizenship and American green cards. Uh, and Bob, the boy, wants to know how long it will take to get a study visa, like a student visa. It's usually a few months, 3 to 4 months it takes to get the student visa. Okay, guys, let me switch back to. Oh, there's Anthony Sennett. Anthony says, "Good morning, Marina. Thank you for always being there for us, and thank you for watching." And Raji Dali 668 says, hello, ma'am. Hello, hello. I'm going to go back to my questions from YouTube and Facebook. Evelyn wants to know if I got my court case dismissed to leave the country, how can I stay? You can marry a U.S. citizen. That's one way to stay. Vanessa Rodriguez asks, I filed my I-131 for a travel advance parole document on April 27, 2023, and it's still being reviewed at the National Benefit Center of USCIS. Any chance it will be approved before December? Probably not. And this is in Cincinnati. So the advanced parole, NASA, goes to the National Benefit Center. It doesn't matter where you're from. It's not going to go to your local field office. Advanced parole is being approved and processed by the National Benefit Center. So I think that it will just take as long as it should take. Let me show you by sharing the screen how you can check yourself how long your case will take. So I'm going to share my screen for you the next time. And anybody who's interested in seeing how long an advanced parole case takes. So we go to USCIS.gov, check case processing times. We pull down the form number. The form is I-131. Okay, it's advanced parole, and we know it's the National Benefit Center. So 80% of cases, say 11 months. So that means there's no way you'll get it before December. You'll probably get it February or March next year. Okay. Our full response says I have 7 years experience as a computer network technician, a computer software, and I go to America. It depends on what their education is and like the projects that you worked on, how many years you went to school. Sometimes you can be sponsored, but regardless, you probably will need a sponsor, an employer company to sponsor you. Uh, okay, so Yush Kumar Chauhan wants to know, is there any hope for passing the immigration law bill in 2023? I don't think so. In 2023, probably not. We're in September, only 3 months left. I don't think it's going to work in this year. I'm sorry. Seda says, thank you, thank you. Jason wants to know, all right, somebody who said that took money and never filed my law. That's not true. Um, great. Yasser Ibrahim says, hi Marina, U visa case was filed in February 2022. Got fingerprinted in November, diagnosed with lymphoma cancer. And you told me you can make expedite request. I will have doc appointment tomorrow. What type of MND report is needed? First of all, Yasser, I'm so sorry about your experience with cancer. This is terrible. Um, you just need a letter explaining your diagnosis, that you don't have that much time left, or whatever it is. Whatever. Or actually, lymphoma, maybe they can treat you so that you need treatment. You need to be legal for your treatment. Um, just about your diagnosis. The doctor at most can write you about your diagnosis, right? So lymphoma, I think, is treatable. I hope that you get a good medical care. Okay? Z wants to know if I'm married. I am married. Yes. Joshua Abdul says, hi Marina, can I submit a tax return as part of my supporting evidence to secure asylum at the airport? Tax returns are usually not the first thing that they will look at for asylum. For asylum, they want to see that you are in a protected category, for example, for political opposition, you express your opinion and so on. And also that you were abused for it. You could be abused for it if you stay in your country. I don't think the tax returns are the first thing that's important. Okay. Same. People keep asking me about new law, immigration registry, and Dignity Act. Right now, there's not much news about them. If I hear something, I will record a video. I will let you guys know. Uh, hey, Buck wants to know how many times can we apply for asylum after rejection? None. If you're rejected, that's it. You tried. Sometimes things change, and you can do a motion to open or some other new motion, but it's basically always coming back to the same place. Avi Kumar Dubey wants to know if you can get a teaching job in the USA. You can get a school to sponsor you. I think you also need a license to teach, okay? So those are some things that have to happen for you to come to the US. Hey, Bob wants to know, what if my asylum case is denied, rejected? Do I have to return or can I apply again? You cannot apply again. You only get one shot at asylum. What you do is you try to, maybe appeal it if it's possible. Not every situation is the same. If you want to explore yours, give us a call 718-769-6352. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments and I'm happy to respond. Joshua says, thank you, Marina. You are awesome. Thank you. You are awesome. Amardeep Shah says, hi, ma'am. I got PG in January 2016. DQ, I don't know what that means. When can I expect my interview? F2B category. Much love from Nepal. Hello, hello. Oh, sorry. So his priority date for his F2B I-130, so a family petition was filed for an adult child of a green card holder. So Amardeep is an adult child, single child, of a green card holder in January 2016. It was, I guess, approved June 2021. I'm going to check in the visa bulletin for you, and I will show you how to check for yourself. Okay, so I always just Google current visa bulletin, and I go to the visa bulletin page on the US Department of State. I click for this month, September, and then for anybody overseas is usually the first chart we look at. So F2B, they're working on September 2015. So 22nd of September 2015, and anybody who filed before that date. So this is what we're looking at, September 2015. You were saying that you filed in January 2016. So you're close, you're getting there. I think I would give it another 4 or 5 months, and then you can expect to get an email from the National Visa Center asking you to upload your immigrant visa application, your affidavit of support, your civil documents, and then it might take another 4 or 5 months to get the interview, generally speaking. So we're talking about approximately next summer for your interview, since your question is when will you have your interview. And thank you for watching. Nermit says, after submitting a medical for the RFE, how long does it take to get a green card? It depends. So if you submitted it to the National Benefit Center, it's still probably going to go to your local field office, and in that case, it might take about a year or less. It's hard for me to say. Marsha says, I have filed for change of status from 2022. Only got work permit. What's next? You just have to wait for now. I assume you filed for adjustment of status. Since you got your work permit, that means you filed for a green card, adjustment of status. It takes about a year and a half from the time you filed, so it's still a wait. M. Abdul says, hi, can N600 applicant travel when the application is pending? Well, when you travel, you need to have some sort of a passport. So yeah, you can travel, but you need a passport to travel. So I don't know what passport you have. You probably don't. Oh, you have your US passport probably, right? Yeah, why not? You can travel with your US passport while your N600 is pending. Thank you so much, says Amardeep. Let's see on Instagram if there's any questions. Okay. No questions on Instagram. Okay, I'm going to give it a few more minutes to see if I have more questions here on YouTube and Facebook. And I'm going to say See you next week, guys. I have so much to do today. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy the kids are going back to school. And hopefully, we'll have a very productive year. I'm Jewish, so we have Jewish New Year coming up, Rosh Hashanah next week. And I think it's a really cool thing to consider the year to start in the fall, because this is kind of like the ended, the summer ended, all the plants are turning, yellow, and it's the beginning of a new phase. Even the government thinks so. They follow the fiscal year system. So they think a new year starts in October 1st. So interesting enough, USCIS and the Department of State kind of follow the Jewish way of telling years. So, I hope that that's an interesting concept for you guys. I still have a couple of questions on Instagram, and I will wrap up. Nadine says, where can I travel to while I'm pending asylum in the U.S.? You can only travel inside the U.S. You can go to Florida or California, but not anywhere outside of the U.S. Hey Box wants to know, does all the countries get banned after asylum rejection? I don't understand what that means. Maybe 9 says, I applied for a change of address on July 15th. Till now, I got no response from the email. Should I be worried? No, if you did everything right, if you went online, you changed your address, you also sent them, you print out the change of address HR11 form from your USCIS change of address, and you also mailed them this. Hopefully, it will work without any confirmation. And Harlan says, okay, thank you. God bless you for helping people. Take care, be safe. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this week. I'm going to say bye-bye. I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you. And have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care. Bye. See you next week.